welcome back. I'm Professor Christy. In this session, we're going to bridge theory and practice by putting together two readings that I think are essential for strategic communication. One is the 10 Crisis Commandments from T.J. Winick's book, Reputation Capital. The other is from Griffin's Crisis Issues and Reputation Management book, which we also used last lesson. And this one is a chapter on what are the risks to reputation. In corporate culture, we often treat issues management and crisis management as two separate fires. One is slow burning, the other is an instant explosion. But Griffin really argues that that's the wrong approach. We need to look at a crisis not just by individual incidents, but by a holistic plan. Your reputation, your existence, your objectives and goals for your organization are all at risk if you aren't developing a long-term strategy that protects your organization. Griffin suggests a categorization system to help us manage risk effectively. Reputation risk comes from incidents or issues, and they can be internally or externally driven. Let's kind of break those terms down. Internal incidents are things that are what we probably think of as the classic crisis situations. BP oil spill, systematic failure, or other internal issues such as a LIBOR-fixing scandal, product recalls. These are often the hardest because they are self-inflicted failures. They're painful to have to deal with. When we look at external incidents, those are things that are much broader, maybe a government regulation change, a societal issue, something beyond your control like a cybersecurity attack, natural disaster. These are difficult. But once we recognize all the different places that we can have a crisis occur, both internal and external, the next thing we need to do is develop a comprehensive long-term plan, as we talked about in last week's video. Once you've identified the risk your organization faces, now it's time, as I said, to develop that plan. When we think about long-term crisis planning, according to Winick, only 62% of organizations actually have a crisis plan in writing. That's kind of crazy. Don't let that be you. When we look at his suggestions or 10 commandments, there's a few things that really stand out. Number one, planning. If you don't plan, you can't deal effectively. Number two, teach your members of the organization that plan. This is not a one-time training. This is something that should be yearly. You should have regular accountability checks. Make sure everyone knows how to communicate and how to handle reputation management for your organization. Three, make them accountable. Have structures in place that aren't just, punishment, but reward incentives for learning what to do and how to effectively represent the organization. Finally, when that crisis happens, be accountable first, but respond rapidly. Don't go underground. Always tell the truth. The sooner you respond, the more truthful you are, the more transparent you are, the easier it will be to maintain your brand loyalty and reputation. Don't overcomplicate things. Keep your eye on the situation, but think about the fact that you need to be transparent, because if you don't share it, somebody else probably will. And it's better to come from your organization than secondhand, say, through a news article and story. As much as you can, try to anticipate what's next, but be flexible. Flexibility and pivoting is an important part of crisis management. We see these commandments ignored in high-profile failures, most notably Robinhood, which we'll use as a case study for this lesson. 2021, GameStop was a short squeeze. It was a historic clash between retail investors and Wall Street hedge funds. Hedge funds bet that GameStop stock would fail, but millions of individual traders used Robinhood to buy the stock and increase the price, squeezing these hedge funds out of billions of dollars. At the height of this frenzy, Robinhood suddenly decided that they had halt buying GameStop shares. This infuriated the very users that they claimed they were helping democratize investing for. And they remained silent for the entire day of trading. The failure provides us three critical lessons in strategic communication management. When the CEO did finally appear on national news, he made it worse. He showed little empathy for the very people who use this platform. He used a lot of kind of jargony, financial hodgepodge, talking about clearinghouse deposits and volatility. He really violated everything that Winick outlines regarding clear communication, transparency, empathy, connecting with your key demographics. So our challenge for this lesson is go to the description for this video, and I have a link posted to the CEO's interview with CNBC. It's only 4 minutes. Just watch it and see if you can catch where he is making his mistakes in those 10 commandments. It's a great lesson on what not to do.